You're listening to Hawk Talk with former Seahawks wide receiver Michael Bumpus. Powered by Seahawks.com. Now, here's your host, Nasser Kyobe.
Welcome into another edition of Hawk Talk. The Seahawks coming off of one of the greatest games I've seen in my entire life, beating the Rams last Thursday night, 38-37. We're going to break down what we saw. Bump, of course, last Thursday night. You know, schedules were where they were. We're here talking about the game. We're going to preview the Panthers game just a little bit, Bump. But again, that game was absolutely insane. The Seahawks, big win on Thursday Night Football. Seahawks trailed by 16 points in the fourth quarter. Before Thursday night, they were 0-172 when trailing by 15-plus points in the fourth quarter. Bump, I don't even know where to start, man. That game was insane.
Yeah, it was wild, man. It was a thriller. You got a bunch of emotions. You were up, you were down. I thought we lost at one point. I'm walking around, yeah. I'm pacing, and people had a camera on you and I during the fourth quarter overtime. Yeah, we was tripping a little bit.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, anyone who saw that game, once they went down 16, we'll get into it, the second interception. Yeah. It didn't look good for this team, but they figured out a way. The Seahawks clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2002. They're now in first place all by themselves in the NFC West, as well as the number one seed. Currently in the NFC, Hawks control their own destiny moving forward. And Bump, Seahawks won 12 games for just the sixth time in franchise history.
Man, and Mike McDonald's second year on the job, and he's already doing that, man. And three of those teams were Super Bowl teams, so maybe there's some foreshadowing in this whole thing, man.
No, I love it. I think the Seahawks are just getting started what's going on this season. We'll recap Thursday night. We'll get into the Panthers just in a little bit. Let's look back on the clock. What had happened?
See, what had happened was
on Hawk Talk.
We talked about it. We watched a lot of football in our life, Bump, and I've never seen something like that. I mean, I was there for the NFC Championship game, the comeback against the Packers. Obviously, the stakes were bigger, but just how this game went, again, one of the best games I've ever seen. We can't recap everything because we'll be here forever because that's how crazy the game was. It took us 3 hours into the wee hours of the night talking about this game last Thursday, but game started. Hawks get a turnover on downs. They go down 61 yards, ending with a 4-yard touchdown. Zach Charbonnet, that was set up by a big 46-yard screen pass by Ken Walker, which I love because the Seahawks haven't done a lot of screen passes. Great way to start that game. The Seahawks would go 3 down on the next 2 drives, and the Rams would score the next 13 points to take a 13-7 lead.
Yeah, 13-7 at the halftime, and the Hawks, man, they were driving to take the lead back. You get the ball to Cooper Kupp. We're getting all excited. Boom. Sometimes you just put the hat on the ball, and it pops out. He fumbles that thing. That hurt a little bit. But on the opening drive of the third quarter, the Hawks marched down the field, and Ken Walker, man, 55-yard touchdown. That was great because, you know, after I do the halftime show, I make my lap around the stadium. I'm making my lap around the stadium, and I didn't even get to see it live. Like, I saw it on the TV, and I ran out the tunnel, try to feel like the vibe of the crowd, and it was amazing, man. I caught him right as he crossed the end zone. That was good to see. But the Rams would have scored the next 17 points, so that made the score 14-13. Then the Rams would score the next 17 points and jump up on the Seahawks 30-14.
And again, the game is, at that point, you're nervous. The Seahawks get the ball back, they go down, and you think, okay, maybe they're going to tie this, make this a one-score game if they had a couple two-more conversions. No, Sam Darnold picked off in the red zone with 9:48 left in the fourth quarter. Man. This moment, I exited the booth. I'm like, let me just get ready for the post-game show, where I ran into you, and we're sitting there looking at it like, hey, the only thing the Seahawks need to get back in this game is Rashid Shaheed runs it back for a touchdown, which is exactly what he did, and we stayed put because that's how we are. Our juju said, we're going to watch the rest of the game from right here. And again, Rashid Shaheed has been an unbelievable spark for this team. The best pickup acquisition in the NFL. No one will tell me otherwise. What he's done for this team, making an immediate impact. 58 yards to the house. Then Cooper Kupp, he gets a 2-point conversion. So now we're like, okay, it's a one-score game. You still got to get another 2-point conversion, but they're right back in the game.
Yep, and then the Hawks got another stop, and 2 plays later, Darnold finds A.J. Barnes for a 26-yard touchdown, and that was a scary one, too. If you saw his route, A.J. sold the heck out of that route, man. Post, looked over his left shoulder, snapped it off, safety over the top, bam, right over the top, and he had to climb the ladder and go get that thing, man. Then you go for the 2-point conversion. All right, 2-point conversion. I'm questioning the play call. I'm like, oh, man, I didn't like that play. But then something happens. Line up for kickoffs. Referee says, hold up, we got to look at this. Sam Darnold threw the ball backwards. So he throws the ball backwards to Zach Charbonnet. All right, it is tipped. It's tipped forward. Zach Charbonnet does what he's coached to do, walks over to the ball, picks it up, and essentially scores a 2-point conversion.
Well, the cool thing about that, Bump, you're a coach. You designed that play to be a backward pass on purpose.
Yep.
Usually doesn't play out the way it did because of Thumb's interception. But, hey, the Seahawks tie the football game up. The Rams will miss a field goal, a bunch of punts to end regulation. In overtime, Seahawks win the toss. Rams get the ball. They go down 80 plays. Jesus. 8 plays, 80 yards. They score. Puka Nacua. Holy smokes.
Man. Had a day.
He's a lot of things right now, but on the field, 225 yards. He was absolutely uncoverable. The Seahawks are now down by a touchdown. They got to go down there and do the thing.
Yep, Darnold, he did it. Take him 9 plays, 65 yards, ended with a 4-yard touchdown to JSN in the back of the end zone. Really knifed it in there, and then you got to go for 2. You're not going for the tie. The tie does absolutely nothing for you, so you go for 2. We're going to break this play down. He finds Eric Saubert, his 4th read to win the ball game, and walk-off 2-point conversion, 38-37. The good guys win on Thursday Night Football.
And it was pandemonium. Obviously, we're going nuts. We're scaring the staff that's working by our post-game show set. You're watching A.J. Barner. He's in the stands. JSN immediately touchdown. He's in the stands, too. It was a great moment, a great feeling on Thursday Night Football. All the eyeballs on the set, which was great. This defense, they really struggled at times during that game, but they got big stops in the fourth quarter. And Bump, I said this early in the season. When the Seahawks lost to the 49ers, I looked at the rest of the schedule. I'm like, this team is really good. I don't think they're going to lose again at home. They did end up losing again to the Tampa Bay Bucks. They weren't super healthy that week, but they haven't lost since. 6-2 home record, which is amazing because they were 3-6 at home last season. So a huge jump.
Yeah, it was great. And what did I learn? I learned that Sam Darnold has it in him. He's got it in him. And the more social media I look at, you get all these angles and stuff, right? I've watched every angle that is out there when it comes to that last drive and that final play. And just the demeanor of Sam Darnold. He was calm. He was poised. And I think that's what a lot of people wanted to see because he hasn't won the big one. So now he got that monkey off your back, all right? You can win the big game. The dude is poised.
No, what I love about Sam, too, is I think I heard this from Brady Henderson this morning, and he was talking about, well, Sam hasn't been in a ton of those games. People are basing all of that off of 2 games last year, really. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. So to see Sam come through in that moment on that stage against that team was amazing to see. And I learned that, again, this team just has grit and will. It doesn't matter. When you're down 16, you watch Sam, his poise. He never was up. He's never too high. He's never too low. Poised. The rest of the team believed that he saw Shaheed. He scores that touchdown, doesn't celebrate, runs right back to the sideline. This whole team together, it just feels like something special is brewing in Seattle. And there are so many people making plays all over the field.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Playmakers.
Showdown, what time it is? Holy catfish!
The man we were just talking about, Sam Darnold, 22 of 34, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but he did have the 9th game-winning drive in the fourth quarter overtime since 2024. That's the most in the NFL. On that final drive, Sam Darnold went 5 of 6 for 49 yards and a touchdown to Jackson Smith-Njigba, connected with Eric Saubert for the game-winning 2-point conversion. We just talked about it. Sam Darnold's a dog.
Yep.
There's a reason they went out there and got him, and I love what he's proven on this stage, that last year wasn't a fluke. This is who he is. He finally got to show it in a big moment, and that's not the last we're going to see from Sam Darnold this year.
No, he's just getting rolling. And this man got rolling in the second half. First half, 1 target, no receptions. We're talking about Jackson Smith-Njigba. He ends the day with 8 receptions, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. He became the 6th NFL player to record 100 receptions and 1,000 yards in his first 2 of 3 seasons. He broke his own and Tyler Lockett's reception record in franchise history with 104 receptions. Became the 4th player, 23 years old or younger, with at least 1,500 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. 10 touchdown receptions in a season, and became the 4th player in NFL history with at least 90 yards in 13 games in a single season. It started off slow. I'm thinking, all right, man, the Rams have a plan for JSN. How are you going to adjust? In the second half, they found ways to get him the ball.
Exactly, and we're going to get into that when we break down a couple plays, but there's creative with JSN, especially, which I love, the evolution of this offense, and he's done it each and every week. If he has a bad half, it doesn't matter. We've seen this script probably 3 or 4 times where he didn't do a lot in the first half, comes back, dominates. Love what we're seeing out of him. Then Rashid Shaheed, we mentioned it. He had 1 carry, 31 yards. Obviously, he had the big 58-yard punt return touchdown that jump-started things. His 4th career return touchdown, 2 of them in the last 3 weeks. This dude is on fire, worth every single penny. I love what we're getting for him, and he's just a spark. So every play the Seahawks are on the field, you have someone who can make a crazy game difference, break the game wide open. So love what we're seeing from him.
It's been a while since I've seen a returner in the Hawks uniform with that type of big play ability, man. So, yes, when 22 gets it, y'all better watch out. All right, Ken Walker had his first 100-yard rushing game since, week 2? The Pittsburgh Steelers, he had 11 for 100, 1 touchdown, a 55-yard touchdown, 3 receptions for 64 yards. He was balanced, You got him in the pass game, the screen to open it up. I love the creativity that they showed that first play, or screen pass to him. And then there was something different about the way he was getting downhill this game. He wasn't trying to go around anybody. He was getting downhill and turning the corner on him. Ken Walker balled out.
Oh, and with Ken Walker, you love to see the home runs. That's what we know he's capable of, and he hit 2 home runs against the Rams, 164 total yards on just 14 touches. I'll take that each and every day sure. Looking at A.J. Barner as well. I'm looking at both tight ends. A.J. Barner, 4 receptions, 49 yards, had the one big touchdown. You described it. That was not an easy play. He makes it. He set a single season career high with 5 touchdowns this season. And then Eric Saubert, we're going to get to his play in a second. But again, game-winning 2-point conversion. Love what we've seen from him. He was on IR, comes back, signs an extension with the Seahawks, and you can see why.
Yeah, man. And Ernest Jones in this defense. Ernest had 12 tackles, 1 TFL. Rough day for the defense. All right, did give up 581 yards, franchise record. Big ups Paul Moyer. Puka went off. He had 225. But it was about the stops, right? The 3-and-outs when you need them. Fourth quarter, you're bowing up. And you have to watch the game to understand the resilience of that defense. Right. You look at the sheet, the box score, you're thinking, what were they doing? Yes, they got lit up. Puka did his thing, but when it was time for a stop, these guys stepped up.
Absolutely, and you had members injured in the secondary. That obviously played a factor. And a crazy stat, John Boyle found this out. I saw in one of his articles. The Seahawks are 4-0 when allowing a 200-yard receiver. That's a random stat. It means nothing. That's not a good recipe for stopping people. But Seahawks get it done. That brings us to the biggest place of the game. We're going to take a look at the game-winning drive down the stretch. This first play, we're going to look at Sam Darnold hooking up with Cooper Kupp for a 21-yard gain.
Darnold from the shotgun takes the snap. Looks down the middle, throws to the near side. Cooper Kupp, does he drag his feet? He does! Holy catfish! Cooper Kupp between 2 defenders, drags his feet, keeps his feet in bounds on the right sidelines for 21 against his former team. Back to the line of scrimmage are the Seahawks. 1st and 10.
Yeah, man, this is Sam Darnold does not get enough love for this throw, first off, man. I mean, he stands in there, gets smacked on the chin, and drops a dime. It's just a simple corner route by Cooper Kupp. You got a too-high safety look. JSN lines up in the backfield. He's going to run short underneath, and that takes the eyes of the corner, right? The corner can't commit to dropping to Cooper Kupp's corner route because of JSN. And my guy, Sam Darnold, sees that. And the angle that Cooper Kupp takes here, I think, is important as well. Sometimes you come out too high, you bring that safety into play. You come out too shallow, you're going to bring that corner into play. He hits that left foot, and he drops a dime on him. But then when we look at the end zone and the way Sam Darnold stays in there, right? The Rams are rushing 4 guys over there. You got a stunt by Verse, and I believe Kobe Turner, who had himself a day. They run a stunt, confuse offensive lineman a little bit, so Verse is all by himself, boom, hits him right in the chin, and Sam has the stones, as Dave Wyman would say, to stand in there and drop a dime, and then the toe tap by the veteran Cooper Kupp was beautiful.
I mean, everything about this play was beautiful. What I love, creativity from Clint Kubiak in this offense. Jackson Smith-Njigba did not have a reception in the first half, so find different ways to get him open. I love this motion, putting him in the backfield, really seeing what the defense is about. That got him open earlier in the game. That kind of set this up. You mentioned the corner. His eyes, even if whether it's cover 2, wherever it is, he can't get depth to take this route away because the best receiver in football, or one of the two, is lined up in front of him. Right. So it holds him just enough. And the Cooper Kupp, you are an absolute, I mean, people don't understand. They say, oh, toe tap, that's hard. He's running full speed towards the sideline, focusing on the ball, but has the presence of mind to get both feet in to drag that foot going full speed. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't think it gets enough justice there. And then you said Sam Darnold, when Jared Verse is coming around the corner to rip your head off and just stand in that pocket and throw that ball and not flinch at all, not throw off your back foot. Love what we saw from both those guys on that play.
Beautiful.
And then this next play, this got it done. JSN scores the touchdown the play before. This is the game-winning 2-point conversion. Sam Darnold finds Eric Saubert.
Darnold has time, looks inside, it's caught, touchdown, make an extra point, make a conversion, I don't care what it is, the Seahawks win the game again on the last play of the game. The Seahawks win 38-37. It's Saubert with the 2-point conversion catch. Holy cow.
Big ups, Rays. I love that call, man. All right, you got trips to the right side of Sam Darnold. The trips with a little stack in there as well. We get a motion A.J. Barner in. He's going to run a shallow. Right? He's just searching. He's going to pull defenders with him. You go down to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's going to run a speed out. There's an option there. And we got JSN working the back of the end zone. The spacing is beautiful here. And then Zach Charbonnet swinging out to the left side. But here's the great thing about this. Look at his eyes and his feet. Sam Darnold goes from Cooper Kupp to JSN to A.J. Barner and says, you know what, there's my fourth option. I'm going to hit Eric Saubert. And Saubert does a good time of selling the pass pro. You sell the pass pro, so now defenders relax. What's your key? Your guy blocks down. Okay, I'm going to look for the running back in the backfield. I can relax and drop in the zone. Sells the pass pro. Sam's good with his feet. He's good with his eyes. And then he tosses one in there. And then if you look at the end zone version of this, That throw. I mean, he has to anticipate it because you got Kobe Turner, who's been just having himself a day with his hands up, slides to his left side and drops it to where Eric Saubert is going to be, not where he is. Game over.
It just looks like a drill. It looks like a drill in OTAs where people are throwing bags at your feet, quarterback's moving around, and he does what he does there. Everything about this play is great, right? Yeah. A.J. Barner's route takes away 2 players right there. Boom. Mm-hmm. Cooper Kupp takes away the corner, runs a little out route. Jason to the back of the end zone. The play before, he catches a touchdown in the back of that end zone right there. Right. So the safety's obviously being getting locked in there. And you mentioned it, Eric Saubert, absolute MVP of this. Your guy blocks, your eyes have gone off him now. And in the corner there, who's in good Fowler Jr., he's looking at him. You can watch his whole body language. The second he sees Saubert block, he kind of relaxes, takes 2 steps out because what's on his side? The only person on his side is Zach Charbonnet, and those 2 steps get it done right there. By the time Saubert's catching the football, it's too late. Everyone, bad body language. Seahawks get it done. They beat the Rams, and they needed this for everybody involved. And last thing I'll say, you mentioned it. Kobe Turner had himself a hell of a game. Yeah. Sam Darnold moving around in the pocket, and then Zabel in that matchup, he had some tough reps, but blocks him just enough that he can't get both hands up. Yeah. He can only get his right arm up. His left one doesn't get up. The left one gets up, he might bat it down. Great play by everyone involved. Seahawks get it done, beating the Rams. Now it's time to flip our attention towards the next team the Seahawks are going to play, the Carolina Panthers. What's on tap?
What's on tap?
These Panthers, it's really hard to what to make of these guys.
Yeah, it is.
They are 8-7, first place in the NFC South. They have losses to the Jags, Cardinals, Patriots, Bills, Saints, 49ers, and Saints again. I mean, they beat some good teams. Big wins over the Packers and Rams. Huge. Yep. Brutal losses. I mentioned the Saints twice and the Cardinals. They got curb stomped by the Bills and Patriots. Holy smokes, those games weren't close. But they're up and down. They've done some really good things, some bad. After a 3-game win streak, they've gone loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. So I guess you could say they are really good at bouncing back. Yeah. But then you could also say they're very inconsistent. What did you see from them against the Bucs?
Oh, man, it wasn't – when I was watching that game, I'm looking at Bryce, and he just looks different to me now. You can tell he's maturing as a quarterback, man. And it's cool to see because I know all the hate that he gets because of his size and whatnot. But, man, the Panthers, they haven't been to the playoffs since 2017. They haven't won their division since 2015. That's the year they went to the Super Bowl. Before Sunday, the Panthers lost 5 in a row to the Bucs. They're 2-11 since 2018. Bryce was 21 of 32, 191, 2 touchdowns. You have Tedero McMillan. He has 6 receptions for 73 and 1 touchdown. Lathan Ranson had an interception to Baker Mayfield with 42 seconds left in the game to ice the victory. Young now has a 12-game winning streak in fourth quarter or overtime since 2023. Mayfield was 18 of 26 for 145, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Bucky Irving had 19 for 71. Mike Evans had 5 for 31 yards and 1 touchdown. The Bucs have fallen off a cliff since beating the Seahawks back in the day. Seems like that was forever ago. That's NFL for you, though.
They beat the Seahawks and the 49ers.
Crazy.
Back-to-back weeks, and they've been 2-7 since. So, I mean, it's the NFL. That's why you play the game. I mean, like, I think you've all said, I've heard you say it, I've heard Brian Walter say it. They are good enough to beat the Rams, which most people thought was the best team in the National Football League, and they're also bad enough to lose to the Saints twice. Yeah. And the Cardinals. So it's hard to get a beat. You don't know which team's going to show up, but we will see. These teams, it felt like they used to play each other every single year, and they did for about 5 straight years. Let's know the history.
Know your history.
Seahawks lead the all-time series 11-5, 9-4 in the regular season, 2-1 in the postseason. The Seahawks have won 4 of the last 5 matchups. The last game, 2023, the Seahawks win convincingly, 10-point game at Lumen Field. Ken Walker had a good day, 18 carries, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. DK had 112 yards on 6 receptions. Gino almost threw for 300 yards. Andy Dalton was the guy starting on the other side that day. 34 of 58, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns. Adam Thielen led all receivers with 145 yards and 11.
He's still in the league. Saw him last night.
With the Steelers, yeah. And then I'll say this, Zach Charbonnet had one of his best runs of his career. I don't know what he did. He knocked the corner out, run into that sideline, one of the biggest. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, these 2 teams look very, very, very different than they did when those 2 teams matched up that last time. But let's flip our attention elsewhere in the division. What's the word?
Where my soldiers at? West side! Where my soldiers at? West side!
And the Seahawks are the NFC West champs again.
What's the word in the West? On Hawk Talk.
Woo, these standings look good right now. Seahawks on top of the division, 12-3. The Rams behind them, 11-4. Niners are 10-4. And you got the Cardinals that are 3-12. The Seahawks are all alone in first place. They control their own destiny to win the division and secure the number 1 seed. Let's play at home and have a week off, please. So we got to take care of business these next 2 weeks, though. All right, that being said, 49ers also control their own destiny to win the NFC West if they win out. So we still got some work to do. If the Seahawks and 49ers take care of business this week, the Week 18 matchup could be just like 2019 back in the day when you were trying to shape up this playoff picture. This could mean another Sunday night matchup and introduce Sam Darnold once again to all the haters out there. But it starts with the Panthers. But this division, the best division in football this year by far.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. Last year we thought it could have been one of them. This year it's unequivocally the best division in football.
Yeah.
You already have 3 teams that have clinched. One team from this division is going to be the number 1 seed, and it's going to be. And honestly, it doesn't matter either one of these teams. You're not going to want to play them on the even if you're hosting. Yeah. If the Niners, Seahawks, whoever's coming to your building, you're not going to want to play either one of these teams. The NFC West is in really good shape. The 49ers and the Colts are going to get it on tonight, so we'll see what Philip Rivers and company has going. But, yeah, this should be fun, and I would love a Sunday night football matchup to end the regular season. Yes. Seahawks playing for the 1 seed against 49ers because that's what this game is all about. We'll flip our attention, though, as we finish this to the Carolina Panthers. Man up.
Hey, who you got?
Who you got? You know what time it is. Man up.
Man up, brother.
Man up.
Man up on Hawk Talk.
We start with the quarterbacks. Always do. Bryce Young. He's had an up and down, part to his career. Yeah. I always liked him at Alabama. He was a dog, one of the best players in the country, obviously. He's in his 3rd season in the NFL with mixed results. Rookie season. Started all 16 games, but the Panthers were just bad. They were 2-14. He threw for almost 3,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 10 picks. He was sacked 62 times that year. They were bad. It was a rough year, but he played okay for a rookie. Then you go into last year, and he just didn't have it. There was things right off the bat. They go 0-2. He did not look good in those games. He gets benched, and Dalton comes in. They figure that out. He eventually gets back on the field. He went on to start 12 games. He went 234 for 384, 2,403 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 6 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, better.
So he kind of started to figure things out towards the end of the year, and you hit the nail on the head. He's bounced back and looked really good so far this year. He 266 for 419, 2,691 yards, 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, career highs in completion percentage and touchdowns. He's probably going to break yards as well. And you mentioned it being clutched all year, 12 game-winning drives. So I don't know. I feel he is not the quarterback we've seen in years past. He can definitely hurt you. Definitely hope the Seahawks put a lot of pressure on him, but he's definitely figuring some stuff out there in his NFL career.
That's why you don't give up on quarterbacks too early, man. You got to let them grow, let them develop. All right, let's talk about our quarterback, man. Had another great game. He was 22 of 34, 270, 2 touchdowns. Did overcome 2 interceptions, which was important. He led his 9th game-winning drive in the 4th quarter overtime. That's the most since 2024. He's among the league best. All right, he's 5th when it comes to passing yards. He's 1st when it comes to yards per pass attempt. Tied for 1st. He's 1st in yards per completion, 7th in pass rating, and 9th when it comes to completion percentage. So far this year, 3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 4,000 yards. I always think about the Bears because they still haven't had a 4,000-yard passer in their franchise history, which is crazy.
So crazy.
So every time I see that someone getting close to 4,000, I big ups the Bears. The Hawks have done an amazing job protecting Sam Darnold, too. Only been sacked 22 times. That's tied for 3rd in the NFL. On the season, the Panthers are 17th in total defense, allowing 329 per game. They rank 16th against the pass, allowing 209 per game, 14th in scoring defense, allowing 22 per game. You feel like Sam could have another good day against these guys?
Yeah, I hope so. I absolutely think it. They're not terrible. They're kind of middle of the pack on a lot of things defensively. We mentioned their up and down nature, but definitely looking forward to Sam Darnold doing his thing. I remember back in the day, 4,000 was at least a lot of yards.
Right.
Now it's commonplace.
It's standard now.
I mean, Sam will probably finish 5th or 6th. Yeah. And he's going to have over 4,000 yards. So we'll see that. Flipping it over to their running backs, Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard against the Seahawks front 7. And Rico's having himself a pretty good year. 4 seasons with the Cowboys. He became the starter last year, went over 1,000 yards for the first time in his career. Also had 249 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns this season. Changed the jersey, kept it going, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. So far, he's got 1,007 yards, 6 touchdowns, and also 1 receiving touchdown. And then you got Hubbard, the foreign back out of Oklahoma State. He was the dog last year. He had over 1,000 yards last season, 10 touchdowns. He's a good backup that can definitely hurt you. So this tandem, definitely good players. Seahawks' strength defensively is stopping the run. We'll see what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, Dowdle was doing his thing early this season too, man. That's a good story. If you know anything about him, man, look him up. All right, let's talk about their receivers, man. Ted Roy is probably the best rookie receiver in the game right now.
Yep.
Xavier Leggett as well. And, they got some good wideouts, but we just saw Puka. You know what I mean? We just saw Puka.
Yeah.
Puka just went for 225, so I think these Hawks will be prepared for this one. But McMillan, he's a good ball player, man. He was 8th overall pick in the 2025 draft, and he went to UW. Big ups to my guy. Arizona, sorry. Big ups to my guy, Curtis Rogers. He had back-to-back 1,300-yard receiving seasons, 26 total touchdowns, and he was an All-American. And he can go get it. He's not a really fast receiver. He's more smooth, but his ball skills are crazy.
Yeah, no, we obviously watched him in formerly the Pac-12, now obviously big staple in the Big 12, Arizona. But no, McMillan, he's a great player. He's a good player. You mentioned, I do think he's the best rookie wide receiver in the National Football League. And while, he's not Puka Nacua.
No.
I'm hoping the Panthers don't even throw for 225 yards.
Yeah.
To everybody. But we'll see. Those two guys that can play. And the biggest thing for me, Bump, will be what the Seahawks secondary looks like. We know that Kobe Bryant got nicked up in the last game. We know that Rick Woolen got nicked up a little bit. Nicky Minori was thought about it, but he passed concussion protocol. So just resetting to see what the secondary is going to look like. So that might play a factor in what happens on the field there. Then looking at our guys, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed.
That trio is starting to sound really good.
It does.
Yeah.
Nice little ring to it. And then you're going up against J.C. Horn and former Seahawk Mike Jackson. Those guys have played some good ball this year. I love it. I'll just say one thing about Mike Jack. He was a great dude here in Seattle. He was always physical. He played well, did everything ever asked of him. So to see him out there as a starter and a team really investing in him, doing his thing, because he earned it when he was in Seattle, and he's obviously earning it down there in Carolina. But Jason, again, we talked about him earlier. 8 receptions, 96 yards, 1 touchdown against the Rams. He's done it all. He leads the NFL in receiving with 1,637 yards. But Puka Nacua after that game, right on his heels. That gap was huge until the last month we've seen from Nacua. He only trails JSN by 45 yards. But anyway, JSN second in yards per game. Leads the NFL in yards per touch, 6th in yards per reception, 4th in receptions, 3rd in receiving touchdowns. He's having an unbelievable season. He's going to continue doing that. And then Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed, they both played well. And like you said, it's little by little watching them when they're on the same side of the field, that problems. Yeah. So I love what we're seeing from that trio there, Bob.
Yeah, man. Shaheed is starting to work himself in, and Cooper Kupp is having the season that you and I thought he would have, about 600-700 yards, and be clutch. He's had some clutch catches, man, and none bigger than the one he had last week. That was great. And Shaheed, man, take another one to the house. Why not? Be the best returner in the game right now.
And now you got people just probably special teams coordinators tying themselves up in knots, because depending on where you're at, you can't just – are you going to willing to just kick it out of the back of the end zone?
Right.
Or just kick it out of bounds on punt? You're willing to give up all this field position because you're scared of it. I mean, he changed the game. I love the pressure he's putting on opposing coordinator each and every week. And with that, let's get to how the Seahawks are going to get this thing done. Path to victory.
At the 45, waits for the snap. Michael Dixon puts it down. That kick is away, and that kick is good! The Seahawks win! It's good!
It's a path to victory on Hawk Talk.
I'll repeat it every week, Bump, until it stops working. And I believe it more and more each and every week. I'm telling you, man, Coach McDonald, he said the players have earned the right to expect to win because of what they're doing in practice, from OTAs, and on the field. We keep seeing it each and every week, and they have earned the right, and that's why I expect them to win every time they step on the field, because of what they've shown us all year long, and I think they can take care of business on Sunday and run the table.
Yeah, man, and it starts with the defense, man. The defense, get back to doing what you're doing, all right? You gave up 581, all right? But you got the W, and you had your moments. Let's get after this young quarterback, man. The Hawks have only had 3 sacks in the last 3 games. Does not like them. Go get after this young quarterback offensively. Take care of the football. I'd like a game maybe with no turnovers, you know what I'm saying?
Would love that.
Maybe game or 2, but Sam, keep playing with that confidence that we saw in the game, though.
Yeah, rip it. Sam's doing his thing. And let's run the rock, man. I would love to see Karen Walker get to 1,000 yards. He's only 121 yards short. Yeah. Need to run that thing and just get the run game into place. I feel pretty good about it, honestly, Bump. For all the talk about it this year, maybe it's not the flashy numbers you want, but I feel better about it. So, again, keep fine-tuning that thing, especially as you get ready to play those 49ers, Bump. And it's a game I think you should win.
Come on.
Take care of business. Set up a showdown.
Yes.
Against the 49ers, potentially for the 1 seed, for the division, for all the marbles, all the things there, Bump. Everyone out there, enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas. That's why we did this a little bit early this week. Do what you got to do. Enjoy yourself. Hopefully the Seahawks will take down the Panthers on Sunday. We'll be back with you next week. talking about hopefully a Seahawks victory. He's Michael Bumpus. I'm Nasser Kyobe. This has been Hawk Talk.